In January 2025, a bunch of us on Ohana Slack made some predictions of what would happen in the Salesforce ecosystem throughout the year. And we have gathered here tonight to try to determine just how accurate is Ohana Slack with predicting the future. My name is Mike DeMaria. I am the principal consultant of Second Quest Consulting. But more importantly than that, I am joined by two very nice people from Ohana Slack, starting with Chris.
Hi, my name is Christopher Sauer. I am in Denver, Colorado, and yeah, I'm mainly here to just see what kind of garbage we can bring to fruition next year.
Excellent. And I'm also joined by Randy.
Hi, I'm Randi Thompson. I'm a freelance consultant, and I'm in snowy Minnesota.
And I am in snowy Syracuse, New York. um, and I will be your moderator tonight. So, what we have is we have 29 predictions that were made. And I've divided them into several categories that we're going to go through one at a time. We got Salesforce Incorporated, the Salesforce platform, a little bit about Dreamforce, a little bit about the Salesforce community, and we end with a little bit about AI. And so we're going to go through each of these one by one, and our verdicts are what we're looking to do is say, were we correct? Were we wrong? Or did we get it partially correct? We will take partial credit. And at the end, we will have a pie chart with Salesforce reports. This is all in Salesforce, of course, has to be on brand. And we will determine just what percentage we have gotten right or wrong. So why don't we start? Why don't we start nice and heavy with the first prediction? This was mine that Mark Benioff would sell Time magazine in 2025. He
He
didn't.
did not. Yeah.
He did not.
Should he have?
Yeah. Should he have? Well, that's a good question. Should he have?
Look, here, I'm a little conflicted on this one because there isn't a lot of margin for print magazines, right? But that is a huge platform. So, and it's got an enormous, sort of embedded viewership. I could see them trying to like pivot time from hard copy to like online social platform type of thing. That would be that's not a 2026 prediction because I think that would take an enormous amount of time and thought to do that pivot. But I don't know what bet I can see them having a better benefit of keeping it and trying to somehow leverage uh than trying to sell it off. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, do you guys differ? You have different thoughts on that?
So I'm
Uh,
thinking like, yeah. Oh, go ahead, Chris. You're on you. You will go away.
oh, my bad. I was gonna keep it quick. I just see print media dissolving entirely before Benioff gets over any perceived power hunger, bootlicking, etc.
Yeah, I was just thinking with now what is it, Elliot Ellison, the Oracle guy, trying to buy Paramount or Netflix or what is he trying to buy? I don't know. Whatever he's trying to buy, right? Whatever he's trying to buy, it sounds like more and more of the billionaires are trying to get into media. So I'm going to go the opposite. I think this year Benioff will keep Time magazine. Um, and based on person of the year pick for this year, I'm going to give a peek at my 2026 prediction. I think that either Benioff or a Salesforce product will be put on the cover of the magazine. I think he's going to put himself or his name on the cover or an article or do a cover story. And we are now joined by a fourth person. Lynda, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm here. I'm Lynda. I made it. Finally, I realized I was late. Um, how do you want me to introduce myself?
Uh, who do you work for and where do you live?
Oh, so I work for Cerity Partners Financial Services. I live in the Cleveland area where it's windy and there's snow on the ground today. It sucks.
All right. Well, so Linda, we just did our first one, which was completely wrong by me about time, but that's
I think
okay.
I don't think he'll feature himself. I think he's going to try to make agents front and center.
Mm.
I think for 2026 Person of the Year, it's going to be something even more divisive than has been done in the past because there's a
But they'll pick
level.
Trump. Come on.
No, they already picked him.
Oh,
So yeah, no,
And he
yeah,
could
I'm
be
scared.
again.
Might be Putin.
that would definitely be controversial.
Yeah. Let's move to the next one. The next prediction was the total number of Salesforce employees will remain flat. And so plus or minus 2%. So they had 72,682 last year, based on, I think I grabbed this off Wikipedia. This year it's at about 76 453, which is about 5% growth, but
Oh,
it's below their 2023 peak of 79,390.
all right.
So,
So partially wrong, but like I'm going to consider plus or minus five kind of like a right, like I'm going to call it because it can vary quarter over to quarter. So,
yeah,
and we're
it's
not even
definitely,
done, we haven't even seen what's going to happen in January yet, technically, which is the end of their fiscal year. So there could be something that happens in January.
I am surprised though, considering that they made that big deal about laying off like thousands, thousands of agents or whatever, that their employee number actually slightly went up.
Well, that recent article about sort of backtracking on their stance on Agent Force
Mhm.
makes me wonder if we'll see that some of those rehires in 2026 because I mean, I don't know about you, but like that Agent Force health portal is terrible. The fact that we have a like hacked link pinned to the general tab so that you can go straight to like submitting a case directly, the fact that we have to hack that like speaks pretty clearly about how well Agent Force does.
You mean you haven't figured out how to get the agent to write the case for you yet?
No.
I literally type in support told me you need to create a case. That's what I write every time, and it does it.
My
No, go ahead, Mike.
my last experience with Salesforce support is I had to open a case where the response to it said, "Hey, just use Agentforce next time so you can self-service this," and that was not an option.
Oh, Jesus.
So I
I've
don't know.
actually I've also had clients go to their AEs to create cases to also get around Agent Force because it's quicker than trying to go through the whole like Agent Force like shenanigans. So, but on the other hand, they've renamed everything Agent Force this year. So,
Oh, we're gonna get into that later.
oh,
Okay, prediction number three. This is also mine. I thought that one of the two AI certifications would become a prerequisite for one of the exams. Um, Probably not.
They took out all prereqs for all exams at this point, which,
Yeah,
wait, what?
yeah,
except for like the clear A and B, like PD2 you can't get before you get
right
PD1.
before you have PD1, but
Yeah.
otherwise like you could I think even you could go if you really wanted to do tech architect without having the prereqs, they'll let you sit for it if you're willing to pay the 3 grand at this point.
Wait for app arc or
No, no, CTA.
CTA, but that's like $10,000.
It's 3 grand.
When did
No,
they?
no, wait, that
Oh,
was 9,000. That used to be 9,000.
When
yeah,
was
it
it
used to be
No,
10 grand.
9,000?
6,000. No, that used to be
Or
6,000.
6,000? Maybe it was
Yeah.
6, but it was not 10. It was never 10.
Yeah, it used to be six.
But
I
yeah,
think it
I'm
still
pretty
is.
sure they took out the prereqs even for that one.
Hmm.
Like when they moved it all over to being handled by Trailhead University, which is ridiculous because like it started off being part of Salesforce University, then it moved to Trailhead, and now they've moved it off again. But like all the places where you had any place you had super badge requirements, those are gone. So that like for uh PD2, you don't have to do any of the super badges anymore, but they also got rid of the super badges that used to be there.
Oh.
The JavaScript one, you can take the JavaScript one without ever having to write a Lightning Web Component now.
We feel maybe that's a later pin that conversation because I have thoughts and opinions on
Oh,
that.
I've got lots of thoughts of considering I had to earn all those damn things to get my certs.
I'm tempted to give myself partial credit, but I'm not going to on this fact that you can't get Agent Blazer, as far as I know, you can't get Agent Blazer Legend status without having the AI certification.
Does that one actually check, or is
I
that just a
don't
you check the
know.
box?
I don't know, but it's in the
Um,
trail.
the other
I'm very
piece
curious. I
I
thought it
heard,
was required.
yeah, I mean it's a part of it, but I can't remember if it was it checked on its own or if you had to just say mark it as done. The other thing though is all those Agent Blazer statuses are being refreshed for the new year. New icon, new everything. So my understanding is that if you have it this year, you actually have to re-earn it every year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're gonna change those trails and redo them every year.
Like a certification maintenance exam.
Well, worse than a certification maintenance exam because literally great new year, you don't have that status anymore. Start over.
I did see as part of that that they would have your previous year statuses showing as well, though. So
Okay.
yeah, in future years it would show like 25, 26, 27, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
This is
Okay.
also
Interesting.
good annual reminder. Check your certification maintenance modules and do them.
Don't be me and lose two of them because you forgot.
I
You can
just
open a
did.
case. You can open a case and
I
they
tried.
usually
They didn't.
oh,
They weren't interested.
keep opening cases. Ask Agent Force to give you back the status. You'll do it.
I think it's definitely too late now because it happened a couple of years ago. So
Yeah, well. All right. Next thing, while we're still talking about certifications, Dana predicted a certified data cloud developer, um, which has not happened. We still only have data cloud consultant, which I'm kind of surprised. I thought, considering the how big of a deal data cloud is, that they would have had something. And I'm not sure what a data cloud developer would look
well,
like.
that's kind of what I was curious about because I mean,
It's
you can do some manual code in some of the data cloud element or nodes and whatnot, but
Mhm.
for the most part, it's pretty declarative setting all of that stuff up.
yeah,
I
I
wonder
don't
if it could be like the difference between like a platform app builder and a sales cloud consultant. Because those two exams have overlap,
A lot.
but not quite. I
yeah,
think
but I'm kind of trying to think like I consider that like a secondary cloud, like it's not
yeah.
main platform. So the only equivalent I have that where we've got those different levels really are one Omni, but that's really a platform add-in. And then Marketing Cloud is one where you've got those multiple levels, but
Yeah.
that one actually has its own languages.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see like a data cloud architect thing where it talks about a lot of stuff pulling in. Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah.
Pulling in from all
Yeah.
of the different data sources and building a data warehouse in data cloud. Um, that
Yeah, but
sounds like because the data
the
cloud exam,
consultant, I think the consultant covers a lot of that architectural stuff,
Mhm.
but I I think it would behoove them to actually break up Data Cloud into smaller, more admin-friendly, bite-sized nuggets, because trying to go through that whole exam it's really confusing. Like
I
there's a
mean,
lot going on in Data Cloud. If they could break that down a little bit to make it easier to translate, like here's my AWS practice, integration that you get to study for the exam, but how do I actually like implement that for real, right? Um, I don't know.
I only spent like a couple of hours. I had a free voucher, so I just spent a couple of hours just like studying the trail module, and I got like 60%. I nearly passed the exam without even like touching
One
Data
wrong.
Cloud before, you know? So
One
like
wrong.
the exam is almost too, the consulting one's almost too easy in terms of like, you don't really need to even know Data Cloud to really be able to pass it.
Oh, I thought it was pretty hard. I failed it. I missed like by one question, and I went
Yeah.
through the whole practice exam. I did a whole bunch of like lucid diagramming on my own to try to figure out what was going on.
I
So,
didn't get that for you. But I also had no desire to read it. I don't want to sit for another exam right now.
Data Cloud is just not on my list at all
Yeah.
at this point. I've sat through so many iterations of that tool and demos and oh, try this, see how is it any better yet? And I just feel like they they spend a lot of time talking about it and trying to sell it, and they don't really make significant improvements like I'm
well,
expecting.
and Linda, to your point too, the pricing is really obscure.
Well,
It,
I mean, it's kind of like I kind of view it as it's usage-based pricing, which is what a lot of the tools have gone to. Like Marketing Cloud was always usage-based. You could never calculate it. I'm sorry. It was this weird thing about contacts and then multipliers, whether it was an email or a text or a notification in an app. It was crazy. And there was, unless you had a really good AE who kept you informed of where you were at with stuff, you had no clue what your bill was going to look like.
Mhm.
I
That's
feel
going to
like
be we're going
Data
to have an
Cloud
upcoming prediction on
Yeah, I think we're
on
is
headed
that.
like
into the
that.
2026 prediction.
Yeah. But it just, yeah, not my favorite thing. All right.
All right, next
What's the next
one.
one?
Salesforce gets insensitive. um, this one, I said that Salesforce would slowly stop putting out legacy naming convention warnings on new articles. So, like a lot of times in the old release notes, you see if it's at master detail or whitelist, you'd see a thing up there saying, "Hey, this is old terminology, blah blah blah. Let's be more sensitive." Um, my prediction was that this was not going to be like no announcement of it, but they would just like slowly use it less. The downside to trying to predict this is they've been converting that stuff over anyways. So, it's like naturally they are going to need it less because they're going to have less things out there. But I have noticed a few release note items where it's not there. And after the whole TDX keynote, which basically said, women, you're not making enough babies. I was like, oh yeah, if you haven't seen the TDX keynote, go take a look. Um,
What?
yeah, the TDX keynote was literally, well, it's a good thing we got all this AI because we're not making enough babies to replace people to be productive.
Was that TDX or was that Dreamforce the year
That was
before?
TDX. That was TDX this year,
Really?
and everyone was like, "What the hell?"
I feel like I was sitting there, but I don't re
It wasn't. It wasn't Dreamforce. Yeah, no, it was TDX because it was the smaller the back, and everyone was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck is this? What is this?"
Yeah.
Go try to find it. It's great. It's great. You had some dork was up
Well,
there.
it was Patrick, and
I don't know who it
it
was.
was Patrick,
Mm.
and the other part of it was the way he was dressed. So he tried to like dress down, and this is Patrick. Patrick doesn't know how to dress down. He was basically wearing a white t-shirt, and I'm sitting there, you're talking about that, and wearing a wife beater. Fabulous.
I didn't even notice that. Oh. Yeah, if it's recorded, go take a look. And being a keynote address, that's scripted. It goes through so
Uh,
Yes.
many
So
that
many
is
people said he changed that scripting because there were a number of people who sat through the pre who said that had not
they.
come up.
It was not improvised. Let's just put it that way. It was not
He
off the
he's
cuff.
not
It
known
was
for improvising,
yeah.
so
It was strategic decision by marketing, and it's like, oh,
yeah. Though I will
um,
say I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but going through my list of badges and checking the links still work. I swear there are a couple of them where they had stuff about, more sensitive naming that have since been retired. Like that weren't necessarily things that are like gone. They've just quietly retired
yeah, and
those
I don't
badges.
expect them to like retroactively delete stuff out of existing articles, but just care less about flagging them than they used to.
Well, I think part of it is just the trying to not draw attention to those things before,
Yeah.
certain factions do.
I'll give you partial on that, Mike.
Okay, I'll take a partial.
I mean, I think the consensus is people are definitely seeing less of those
Yeah,
pop-ups. And so that must mean they're kind of trying to like low key move away from
yeah.
some of that. So I think partial.
Uh, we have a few coming in from Robbie Duncan. So, Robbie, first one, Einstein Tableau, sorry, Tableau Einstein gets a new name and it's renamed. It's now Tableau Next or Agentforce
I
Tableau or something.
I wondered what Tableau Next was. I've been seeing it like the last 6 months, and I was like, I tell me what this is. I
So
do not understand.
is this a new name for Wave?
No, that's still CRMA. They
Okay.
they renamed CRMA, thankfully. But
Because at one point they did name it something that had Einstein in it. And I know,
it's before CRMA, so that
okay,
was one before.
all right.
Yes.
So the other thing though is my understanding is they are not re-upped their ability to use the Einstein name. Like they didn't,
That's what
so
I heard
any
too.
place Einstein is used in naming needs to go away.
Oh, that could explain it.
Because they are no longer, paying Hebrew
Right,
Union College for the naming rights.
right. I knew that that contract was coming up and they were not renewing it.
Yeah, for people who don't realize, to use Einstein's name, you have to license it, and the ownership of that IP is some university in Israel, if I'm not mistaken.
It's Hebrew Union College, I
Yeah,
believe, if I remember correctly. Um, so the other interesting point, I don't know if you've noticed this, there is an LWC component where you can have an image of Einstein in your header. Um, yeah, we actually had it in our org. I took it out last week. Um, I've wanted to take it out since I first saw it. I had, if you're moving to SLDS2, when you move to SLDS2, it just shows like a light blue background. The image isn't there, but there's no like error message saying that it's going away.
Hmm,
So, um,
interesting.
my understanding,
that probably
though
just
it's,
rebrand the icon or just change it to like Mad Scientist or something.
well, I have a feeling they're not going to put anything in it, but they're going to have to make it an error in the linter because they're going to have to remove the actual name. Like Einstein was in the name of it. It's going to be
Oh my
interesting
gosh.
because of
And
the
they
think
have,
about how many orgs might have used that, and potentially they could be fined for using it.
oh my gosh, and we have like perm set licenses and perm sets with Einstein in the name. If people are using those and other
Well,
like
or
user
Well, I
access
mean, if
people
you
clone
could,
them and kept the
yeah.
name in there.
well, if you kept the name Einstein, I don't think that that would necessarily cause a problem.
I- We hope not.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Anyhow,
Ooh,
so that
that's a
so
good
one, that's a yes.
that's
We're
a
that
good
one's a yes.
2026 prediction, Linda.
I'm not even touching touching anything related to Einstein for.
Um,
How
so
many
next one.
new names?
Oh, how
Sorry,
many new names?
before you pop over, how many new names are we getting for Tableau Einstein in 26? One or two, or is
Two.
they just going crazy? Okay.
I think two.
Seen that before.
Yeah,
Two huge renamings, one in the beginning of the year and one again around Dreamforce. That's not unheard of.
And then 1 month later, when they realized that that name was terrible.
Right.
sounds about right.
Um, Next item. We were just talking a little bit about this. New usage-based pricing option for existing clouds. Per seat licensing will remain an option. So a per seat license and also a usage-based.
Didn't they do that
This,
though?
yeah, I'm giving this one a
Partially.
correct. No, this one, it's
Partially.
an option. You could do per seat
Yes.
or per login.
Or per login. Yeah, but I don't know if that's true for all licensing. Like, I don't know if they have that for CPQ. I think they have it for FSL licenses. And
Well,
obviously, I think they do somewhat for sale or like, your sales cloud. But I don't know that every add-on SKU has usage-based
Robbie
license.
just said for an existing cloud,
He
not
didn't say
all
it
of
had to be
them.
for, he just had to be for
Oh,
one, and
Yeah.
they did it
and
for sales, so
existing.
I feel like
All
he
right.
got that
All
one.
right.
Do you know of anyone using that or even wants that?
Yeah, I have had a couple of clients start looking into it,
Hmm.
especially for users who may only need to go in every now and then to like check on something. Like management is a great use
Yeah.
case where giving them their own full license is kind of a waste of money because they might only go in once or twice a month to like look at a dashboard or something.
I
And then I've
I
had
Yeah,
some,
I
my
can't believe that, these orgs that were featured as being very heavily agent force at this point aren't already on that.
well, I mean, you guys tell me if you've experienced differently. I don't think the AEs understand the pricing model for that and don't know how to explain it or sell it or show value for it. And I'm not sure that their commissions are going to be better than selling a full Salesforce license.
I mean,
So,
it's cheaper and it's not like people logged into Salesforce really uses that much cloud computing resources. So,
but I think
yeah,
we're going to run up against Salesforce AE commission versus what's best for the client. And I think there's going to be a huge disconnect there.
unless they incentivize the
Right.
AEs to sell them, which, you
Which if
know,
they do that, they'll do that for a short period of time. It won't be a forever.
Right.
all
But
right. Go ahead.
I don't think the explanation of how it works has been very clear.
Yeah. And how you could mix it with existing and new, current existing and give a few. Like just in time kind of solves some of this, but not completely.
Yeah.
But if you got to have 5 people who only need to log in on the first of the month, just in time kind of doesn't help you because all of them have to log in at the same time. All right, next one. Agent Force 3.0 will be announced at TDX. He was close. TDX was in March. 3.0 was announced in June. Um, I'm tempted to give him this as being correct, anyways.
Yeah, I think so.
Are we still on 3.0 officially? Like, why are they even giving version numbers?
Do they even have version numbers still? Like,
Well,
I don't remember hearing anything at World Tour that suggested a version number.
it's weird. It's like the trying to use version numbers, I think, as more of a marketing term to be like, look, we made some new stuff. I don't, or did they just skip from 3 to 360? Are we on Agent Force 360 now?
Everything is 360 again.
Oh, it
It's
is
Oh,
come
Agent
back
Force
around.
360. Okay, so we just jumped 357 points. Okay. Uh, Robbie, you're doing good. You're doing good this year, Robbie. Okay, this one is more controversial. This was mine. Blue Sky wins. Salesforce reluctantly and eventually starts posting to Blue Sky because Twitter sucks.
They're still
Um,
posting to Twitter too, though.
they're posting to Twitter. They created a Blue Sky account and followed like 200 people in the ecosystem, but haven't posted anything. Um, but it does
That's
seem like,
interesting.
yeah, I don't know why. It was weird. It does seem like a lot of the Salesforce community people, us and employees, moved over to Blue Sky as opposed to any of the other social network platforms.
Yeah.
I
It
think
seems like,
there was a really concerted effort, I think, within the
yeah,
community to pick a platform and to try to keep most people over there. I mean, honestly, I didn't create an account there because I'm kind of like, what
you're over social
this
media,
social,
you and everyone
I'm
else.
done. I'm done.
Same, Lynda.
You know, like we need to move on to something else.
Yeah.
But we need something where we can connect, and I don't know what that is, and it's not LinkedIn either. So I don't know, the
Is
only reason
Slack
I haven't,
from
It,
Salesforce.
it's
well,
Ohana Slack.
Yeah.
Slack, I mean, honestly, they've added how many different Slack things, like Service Slack, Agent Force. It's crazy, and I can't keep up with all of it. And I'm just like, this is just overload and noise, and you
Yeah,
know,
but I mean, I think we get some of that, but we don't have a Salesforce org to connect it to. So Ohana Slack doesn't really use any of those modules. I think the closest we do are some of the workflow options, the canvas, the lists, that kind of stuff. But um, I think,
yeah. But we've been using. I mean, a lot of people use Slack more like it's social media.
correct.
The other thing is I've seen a lot of groups move away. So a lot of tech groups move away from Slack that are not Salesforce. So, I'm at a conference later this month that historically had used Slack that went back to Discord.
Oh,
Slack, here's the two big problems that Slack kind of like self-imposed. One of them is the 90-day thing pisses off a lot of people in community groups. And they're like, I get all my history in Discord, and I don't get in Slack. So until Discord and shitifies over to doing the same thing, people are like, hey, Discord's better. Um, uh, Second item, it's a pain in the ass inviting someone into a Slack. Like, no one knows how to get into Slack.
yeah.
And it's like, well, you got to have an invite. You can't just go to a site. You got to have an invite link, and you got to like sign it. They don't make it easy enough. And those invites expire, and there's weight limits and all that, which is another problem. Um, I'm hoping at the end of this, in the little description down below in the YouTube video, I put a link so people could join. Yeah. So hopefully in the doobly doo, there's a little thing. But the third big thing for community building that Discord had over Slack is Discord had that Patreon integration that Slack doesn't care about. And so, like, if you're setting up a community and you're a content creator, you're going to Discord so that that Patreon community gets automatically synced over and you get your patrons into Discord. Um, it's very difficult for me to think of a reason why, like, a YouTuber or a streamer would ever want to set up a Slack instead of a Discord if they want to monetize themselves.
No. And it's expensive when you start
Yeah,
getting into, two-digit users. It's kind
it's
of
expensive
expensive.
on one-digit users.
I mean, I have my own Slack, paid Slack. I don't think it's that expensive for like what I need to use it for, which is some business related stuff. Um,
I mean, if I'm looking at Northeast Dreaming with our planning committee, it'd be $60 per month just for Slack, just for the core team members. That doesn't even
yeah,
include like
and
the
yeah,
expanded. If we want to include everyone that's actually in that Slack right now, like all the people, including past members and all that, we're looking at like, let's see, that'd be like a couple of $1,000 a year.
yeah, Yeah, it's a business tool. It's not a
Yeah,
social tool. Um, but again, we're kind of veering into 2026, maybe even
yeah.
2027 predictions there. Because again, I bet we all have thoughts and opinions
All right, well,
as
let's
as it
go.
tries to replace chatter.
Uh, anyhow, this one is Bill. Bill couldn't make it today, but that's okay. Revenue gets rebranded again. He said Revenue Cloud, CPQ Advanced, Revenue Cloud Advanced, Revenue Cloud Lifecycle Management. It'll get renamed, and now it's Agentforce Revenue Management. Bill suggested renaming it CPQ2 Judgment Day. Um, Bill, you're getting a big old correct on that. A plus. It'll happen again. 2026. Next one. Hey, Lynda, this is yours.
Mm-hmm.
So, Trailhead badge predictions 230 modules, 23 projects, and 16 new super badges.
Mm-hmm. And
Which you're cheating on the super badges. We'll get into that in a minute.
I'm not cheating on the super badges. I mean, they only created 6 new ones, so I'm not even close.
Really? Only six
Yeah.
new super badges?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll put you wrong then. Holy crap. So
Yeah, they
I
made
thought when they
16 new
split them.
projects. So
Mhm.
I've never really counted even the units as being part of a single super badge. Each one was, because you got an icon and it counted as one in your count for each unit. But they didn't really split them, they just renamed them and then they retired well over half because there's only like 30 some active and overall 100 we went down from over 100 to 30 something. But they only did 6 new ones and I don't think the pace moving forward is going to be that great for creating new ones even. Um, I've only heard of 2 in the works, but I'm sure there's probably some other plan, but
Do you think they're
Was
going to try using AI to generate super badges and
um,
modules?
I was going to say, didn't they lay off a significant portion of the team that actually was doing
Yeah.
those trailheads?
Yeah.
yeah, but they are definitely still posting to the credential ambassadors, asking them to help with super badge testing. So I,
They reduce this team size though,
they did. So I don't,
which is going to reduce productivity. So,
right. So I don't think there's going to be that many more, at least not in terms of new super badges. The number of projects was definitely less, not outside the realm of what they've done in the past for years, but definitely not. There were also a bunch of ones released, like I would see like a quick start released as a project, which usually those were never projects. And then I'd see things released as full out modules that I'm like, this feels more like a project. So I think the lines have really blurred greatly because I don't think they really have someone who's saying, hey, this has to be a project, this has to be a module like that. Um, and so if I ignore that and just looked at number of new earnable badges, not counting community event stuff, it was 284, whereas my total was like 262. So,
Well, you got it.
well, if you're counting your percentage, but I was definitely a little bit short. They did come out with newer. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that with the new streak thing they're pushing. Though all you have to do is really you could do a post in a group and that counts for your streak too.
I think they're going to abandon streaks pretty fast, or everyone's going to abandon it themselves and be like, "Screw this."
Are
I
they,
hate I hate
has there been
games that have streaks in it.
has there been a decrease in people like doing Trailhead and they're
I don't,
trying to like regain that
I don't know.
population?
They don't make that data actually available. We'd have to get someone who can actually access that to look for us. You know how many
One
badges were earned this year versus
since we are talking
prior years.
Trailhead, since we are talking about Trailhead, one of the changes they did do this year, especially around the super badges. I think they started. Was this implemented this year, or it, it used to be if you wanted to get some of the super badges, like let's say you wanted like one of the supersets, the superset
Oh,
badge. To
all
get the
the
superset,
you had to do this and you had
let's
so the
let's
prereqs
guy
are all
because this
gone.
is what I had to do. To get the superset, you had to get super badges. But to get that super badge, I needed to get three other super badges. And to get those three super badges, I needed to do modules for each of those badges. And so to finish this one thing over here, I had to do like 12 modules way down here to go forward and back. I was like popping and pushing a stack of trailhead modules. It was a pain in the neck to figure out what to do. And you do something and you're like, all right, now I'm going to move. And you can't even see that you have the module. So like, oh, I got like 20 minutes. Let me do a trailhead. You don't even know that, like, I have to do this module to do this, but I can't see that until this is done. And it sucked. And now they're just like, screw all that. You want to do a super badge, just do a super badge. We don't care.
Well,
And the super badges are not 8-hour weekend commitments. They're like an hour and a half at
well, it's
most.
not. It's not an hour and a half at most. It's like up to. I feel like they're trying to stay within the 3 to 4 hour range for work, but
It's
some of them are
tremendously
easier.
cut
Some of
down.
them, it really depends on what you're doing. I have, when I've been doing the testing, I've definitely kept a, you know, how long did this take me? Um, I'm not always doing that though, honestly. Some of them I fly through, some of them take me a little bit more. Some of them I do and I know it works and I did it right because I followed best practice and then the checker tells me I'm wrong. And I'm like, damn checker.
Funny enough, I helped write a module early this year. Like I made a scenario, so I made the scenario and stuff, and then like 2 weeks ago at one of my clients, I had to implement the scenario that I came up with
Nice.
in New York, and I'm
Love
like,
that.
hey, that's why we do this because it actually has applicable. Oh, so Lynda, are we giving you a wrong here or a partial credit?
But
I said give it to her, but she was under. That's I don't know how you would exactly get the exact number, but I say give it to her because they met and then went beyond that. It wasn't like they didn't even meet her goal.
It's
Okay,
also the holiday season, so we should be in the giving mood.
okay, well, you get it correct. Okay, the last one in Salesforce Incorporated, which Salesforce Inc. I think is our biggest, one of our biggest categories. So this is my prediction. My prediction was that Salesforce would hit their revenue goal of 38 billion, but have at least one quarter underperforming a single day stock drop of 10%, but recovers within 2 weeks.
Wow.
And so here's where we are. Salesforce was 37.9 billion. So yeah, that's pretty much they hit 38 billion. Um, the first and last quarters, some analysts said they were below what they were expecting, and some said they were about where they were. So I'd say they had 2 quarters that were really rough. Um, so I think I'm okay there in that prediction. Um, in terms of stock change, this is where I think in some ways I'm both correct and way off. Their stock year to year from December 30th, 2024 to today, December 29th, is down 21%. So dollar sign CRM is down 21%, while the Dow is up 13, the S&P 500 is up 16%. Um, so investors are not happy with Salesforce at all. Like it is, you have lost a lot of money investing in Salesforce this year instead of you know, the index funds. Um, so I think I'm right on that one.
I'll give it to you.
Um, and like not to get into next year's prediction, but my prediction next year is I don't think they'll crush 40 billion. I think they might actually do less than 38 next year. I think we're going to hit a recessionary
Yeah.
year. I think they're going to hit under 38 billion.
I mean, again, we're sort of getting into 2026 predictions,
So,
but I think they're going to continue to lose market share in the SMB markets to like HubSpot and Microsoft Dynamics specifically. Which is fine because those people aren't super profitable for Salesforce. I mean, the SMB market is not super profitable for Salesforce anyway. It's only good for like one quarter, like basically 1 year. After that, those clients are useless to Salesforce. So I think they're gonna, yeah, I mean, it's a saturated market for Salesforce. They've got to become better at what they do and less with less market share.
Yeah. Do you want to guess the percentage of revenue Agentforce and AI and Data Cloud are generating this year?
In
You think 5%?
2025,
2025. What percent of their revenue is AI and Data Cloud?
But
I've got to be
You think 5?
small because
Take a guess. Take a guess. Take a number.
Okay, I'm gonna say 3 to 5%.
3 to 5. Lynda, what do you think?
I'm not even guessing because
Okay,
not.
2.6.
That's
2.6%. Data Cloud and AI was just a bit under 1 billion in the annual recurring revenue of the 38 billion. So, yeah,
and I think
all this
that'll
Agentforce.
increase next year, but like not by a lot.
Yeah, and that was up like
Expensive.
100%. So, like last year, it was like 1.2%, I guess. So it did increase a lot, but like it increased a lot from very little. Like if you start with $500 million on a multi-billion-dollar company, it's like whatever. You could sneeze that amount.
Yeah.
They probably pay
And
the executives bonuses of that amount.
these are complicated product SKUs with complicated pricing, even though, to your point, Lynda, it is usage-based pricing. The problem is like no one knows how to calculate that pricing. And so how do you even try to forecast for a client, or if you are the client, how can you even try to forecast what your costs are going to be related to these usage-based subscription products? It's just, I don't think they've really worked all of that out enough for clients to really go ahead and invest, and they're expensive products.
That's becoming a bigger problem just in cloud computing in general. Like a lot of companies are really looking into cloud costs and the unpredictability of them.
Well, and where is the added cost of what are, the use of LLM and higher computing power and therefore more energy really affecting that in the long run?
Right.
And then how does that weigh in with the recent articles that everyone has seen where they're kind of almost going negative on the agent idea and the LLM usage?
There's problems with LLMs, but that's a different discussion right there. And we're going to talk about LLM problems later on at the end of this podcast. All right, so we are out of Salesforce Inc. We are now into the category platform. So this is about Salesforce platform and about the stuff that we normally do on a day-to-day basis. First item, setup gets another setup. The setup menu will see another setup item listed under setup. Andrew Russo goes nuclear over this. Salesforce Go.
Is that what Salesforce Go is? Because I won't lie. I
I
saw
don't
that
know.
thing pop up and I was like, I don't know what you are or what you're doing or why you're there. And I click on it and it gives me those little cards that sort of tell me I'm like
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. It's trying to get you to set up more features and stuff.
and it's so bad. It's irritating, but it's
Yeah,
easy to ignore.
Well, and then the new Agentforce first setup.
yeah.
I just want to see Andrew get angry at people. He's
I feel
pretty
like
entertaining.
Andrew's given up. So when I saw him at World Tour, he wasn't even wearing one of his self-made Salesforce shirts. It was kind of sad.
I mean, there's only so far that you could go before it becomes like the parody out parodies itself.
Right.
All right, I'm giving that one a correct. Let's go to Dana's prediction. Classic dies. She's saying the Classic end of life date will be announced. Classic's no longer available in brand new orgs. They'll eventually pull the plug.
So
There's
I don't, is it still
It
available in
happens.
a brand new org though? Because I feel
yes,
like when you
it
get a
is.
new org, it's
Yeah.
set up in Lightning and you'd have to forcibly move to Classic. Um,
Yes, new orgs are by default Lightning enabled, and that is the default. And you can turn off the
okay.
option. So the ability to navigate to Classic, that toggle is turned off or unchecked in net new orgs, but you can turn it back on. And you still have to, because there are still things as admins you can only do in Classic. So you still gotta have it.
I only occasionally still find I have to go into it, but it doesn't surprise me that they did not announce end of life for that. But though what did surprise me was Parker's practically talking about how thinking Lightning is dead and that like, yeah, Slack is the new wave of user interface. And I'm like, no, I don't see it. Like, I really don't see it. Look at how many companies don't use Slack. Like, Teams is, you know,
Seems it's
So
free, it's good enough.
yeah.
is he implying that he wants to move Slack to be a CRM, like
He's
replace sales?
implying that he wants Slack to be your interface because everything's going to be agentic. You're just going to have conversations. You don't need to, and Slack
Yeah, they're
can
talking
show the
about
records on the fly.
turning Salesforce into basically a database, a data warehouse, and a workflow engine, and not something that users would necessarily log into on a day-to-day basis.
Oh,
That
I
you would
see.
have, you just use Slack to get all that stuff, and you need
Yeah,
CRM data. It's going to flow into Slack. Come on.
that's like at least a decade away, I would think. And certainly not for transitioning current clients. I mean, there's a
And
huge
I don't see business
uh,
working that way. Like where
well,
there are some things where I can see, yeah, it can provide time savings to be able to just say what I want to do in English. But how often do you start doing that and you get the knowledge of how you do this and you're like, where's the button? Just let me click the button. It's so much faster than trying to explain to
right.
something what I want with
Yeah.
words.
Yeah. 100%. And not every company is going to have the budget to sort of rebuild or customize Slack the way that they've customized their Salesforce environment, like make that transition. I think that's early days. And Slack isn't even ready. The limited functionality or integration options we have between Salesforce and Slack is a huge hurdle to that, in my opinion. That's what we're here for, is opinions. Thoughts and opinions, people. Thoughts and opinions.
Let's keep going with the deprecation. So I had two deprecation ones. First, Aura. Despite them wanting us to use Lightning Web Components, Aura won't be deprecated like workflow rules this year. I think that was too easy of one. I'm giving myself a correct for that. It's too soon. There's no way they're getting rid of Aura anytime soon. Um, this one I was wrong about completely, though. I said that very old on platform Apex code would be deprecated and no longer work. So I'm talking like versions like
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, 18, not the APIs, not the SOAP APIs, but
Oh,
actual code that you
Apex.
go to the dev console, new class, that. I thought they would get eventually announce that those would not work. Um,
I find it interesting though that with this locale update, there are a fair number of orgs that I know of got emails saying, hey, you have to basically get this to work. And the only way to
yeah.
get this work was to change your API version on all your code to be above, was it above 38 or some, I don't know. I went with 40s for the ones I had to do just to get it to work. It's interesting though that that stuff is still available, yet they've created situations where you can't use it.
Yeah, I'm shocked that still works as well, Mike. I would have thought they would have totally deprecated. There must be some big client still out there, like
Action
Pepsi.
plans, action
Something.
plans version 3 is on API 18.
Gross.
Yeah. And
Why?
I know of I know of an org where it's used in production, and I tried upgrading it to version 4, and it went terribly, terribly wrong. And I was like, nope, we're not doing that. We don't have time to deal with that crap. So yeah, have fun with that. I know they did like off put, like they were going to deprecate some of the old SOAP and REST APIs, and they pushed that off because they're like, this is a huge pain in the neck. If they do decide to deprecate the old Apex, it's probably going to have a long period of time before they announce it. And I suspect in 26 option prediction, I think they're going to announce some sort of AI BS. Let's let AI automatically upgrade your code for you.
Right. Right. Yes.
And it's not going to work, but they're going to say that you could do it.
It'll, I could see it being roughly the equivalent of the workflow and process builder to flow migration tool. It
Yeah.
works, but not with best practices.
Well, and not always.
Right.
I can just see
Here's
them
one
selling
that
decrease your tech debt. We'll take care of it for you.
Right.
here's one that I'm really surprised on. That I thought would have came true. Batch flows. This I said there'd be a new flow type called batch flows, which is basically batch Apex in flow format, supporting 50 million records. Robbie Duncan chimed in that flows batch management already exists inside industries. This did not come to the main platform. This is one of their weak points, one of the at place you have to
But
switch to Apex if you want to do millions of records.
yes, didn't I see something in the release notes though, or was I hallucinating? I will double check. I thought I saw something about a batch enhancement in Flow in spring's release, but I don't remember the specifics of it, so I won't go any further with that thought.
Oh, I hope so. Um, Here's two more. So Gorav made two predictions. First, you'll be able to mark a field that's required in dynamic forms in screen flows. No, that did not happen. You cannot make a if you use now not components. If you drag in the fields, the fields in the you could say, okay, I want to drag fields, and you drag the record fields onto your screen flow. You
Yeah.
can't. You can conditionally make them conditional visible, but you can't put a conditional required on them.
No, and they inherit any required status from the existing field.
Yeah, it's still page layout driven.
Guess I not paid
Not
Give
ever
it a
use
try.
that.
Yeah, give it a try.
I will. I honestly not, yeah, I guess I've never really thought about that, or it's never come up where it's been like,
Gaurav also came with a second level to that prediction. You still won't be able to edit opportunity amounts in line in a report. That's true. I just tried it. You can't edit the amounts.
I'm assuming this is an opportunity without op products.
This is just a straight up opportunity report. Opportunity report, you can edit stage. You can't edit the amount column.
Well, that's true. If you have op products on an op, you can't edit the op amount anywhere. But without products, really, it's not
Not
editable
in
in
a
a
report.
Nope,
in a
not supported.
report.
I still don't like that you can't inline edit on related lists. Not even the dynamic or the enhanced related lists.
Honestly, once you brought inline editing to reports, it's like the list view is almost is pointless. To have a list view that you can do inlines and you can do screw that, just do everything in reports. Business people want to do everything in reports. They don't like list views.
That's funny because most of my users that I interact with, Mike, love list views, hate reports. They want to do all their editing in list views.
Pick one or the other. It's one or the other, right? They don't want to have both of these things if they both do things halfway.
There's a bunch of
Let's.
other standard
Mhm.
fields that you can't edit in a list view or a report, and it is equally as
Completely
frustrating.
random. Next one. This one I was wrong before I even put it down on the page. Tasks and events would see no love. Um, Big fat wrong on that one. They increased the number of fields on tasks and events to like 400 instead of 100. So yay! Tasks and events get the only love that they will get, and they won't be touched again for another 15 years.
Oh, but wasn't 2025 the year that they also increased the amount of fields we could track history on from 3 to 5? Wasn't that this year?
But it was 20.
Not on tasks and events.
Oh, I'm not sure.
But you're right. That is as much love as we will see tasks and events get for another decade.
This next one, I wish I researched this beforehand. Look up fields in reports without needing formula fields. So just like they did for dynamic forms, I think you'd be able to grab the values from an associated lookup object without needing to explicitly create a ton of unnecessary formula fields. I thought this existed or was put
Uh,
in. Am I mistaken, or is this now a feature?
Out formula fields.
Like you know how like if you have like an opportunity report and you need data from the account, before you would have to create a bunch of formula fields on the opportunity to reference the account value.
It
But
depends. Like
it depends
with
on the
custom
object and the
reports,
relationship. Yeah.
with custom reports, you can bring down parent object fields into the
Hmm.
reports. But if you're in like group edition that doesn't have custom reports, then you still have to do formula fields to get parent object stuff down. I, but custom reports have been around since forever and a day. So I don't know. I feel like I need more background and context on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it unsure this in the interest of time because I don't remember what I was getting at with that.
Maybe, maybe he meant in list views because that's still a thing.
No.
Cannot pull down parent record information into a list view without a formula field.
Let's see. Next one. All right, Linda, you might be closer to the list than I am. Phil came up with this one. SLDS2 causes havoc, especially for orgs using the LWCs from managed packages.
Mm.
So I honestly don't know what our stuff from NNH package looks like because I haven't gone that far. I can tell you the Aura piece, the linter does give you issues for Aura as well as for LWC, so you can resolve them. I haven't seen anything really hard to resolve. Interestingly, the majority of the stuff I get are warnings, not errors. But from talking to someone on the product team, they suggested you want to fix the things that are warnings because eventually they will become errors. I don't know if that's actually going to happen though, because I feel like that team also got decimated at some point during the year, and there aren't as many people working on that. I think the thing that's going to cause more havoc is going to be Visual Force, because there is nothing in the linter yet checking Visual Force, especially if you've called JavaScript in Visual Force. Um, the other thing is though, I mean, and they tell you for the SLDS2, it's not just running the linter, you have to go in and look at everything. And I could totally see where LWCs that are from managed or unmanaged packages that use in flows could totally cause havoc with this.
So do we give Phil the correct on this one, or partial, or an unsure?
I think at least a partial, because I really see where, like, we're not going to have control over what we get from packages
Yeah.
for the most part.
All right. So that is our last platform one. Let's go to Dreamforce, which is Dreamforce's short. There's two predictions. First, Uh, Attendance will be under 51,000 at this year's Dreamforce. I think that was correct because all the news reports I've seen said over 50,000. And if it was over 51,000, they would say over 51. So I think that was correct. If anything, it was about 50.
I wasn't there, but from the people I heard, they said it felt like it was back to pre-COVID numbers, like 150,000. But I didn't go, so
You know what
I
they did? Because I went a few years ago. They reduced the size of the campus and they reduced the size of the rooms, so you had the same crowdedness, you had the same population density, but over less area.
oh,
yeah, I was
So
gonna
they
say because
basically made it crowded on purpose.
like 2018 when we were spread so far and like you needed to take
Yeah.
the bicycle or
yeah,
the whatever you could to get back to whatever building to make your
yeah.
next session in time. I don't think they're ever going to get that big again. Like I don't see it.
I feel like they could rebrand it as Agent Force for Dreams and probably get some more people through the door.
Chris doesn't speak often, but he drops bombs when he does.
The next one, I said the Deftones play at TDX. I don't know who the hell the Deftones are. I think I meant the Deftones. Um, but regardless, I was wrong on this one because TDX saw Portugal, the man, play as well as DJ Shu.
No.
So very off on that one, but that's okay. Um, Next, community one. So two of them first. I thought Ohana Slack would hit 16,000 members, and we are at 16,532. So that definitely came true. And then the other one, and this is the one that could be more debatable. Hoover loses. So for especially for people who haven't been to community conferences too often or only went to a few, very popular out there as an event management app is Hoover. And my prediction was that a lot of us community people would be abandoning the Hoover platform and not renewing with them. Northeast Streaming, we made the decision this year not to renew. So this year, 25, Ned 25, we did it with Slack and a bunch of others and whatever, but we didn't use Hoover. We got rid of it. And there's a whole discussion with all sorts of community conference people about abandoning Hoover as well. So I think this one is a win. I think this is correct. That Hoover screw. The big problem is they charged way too much. Their price has gone up like 3 times as much as it used to be like 2, 3 years ago. Like it went from like a $5,000 investment to like 13,000. Like it was a ridiculous increase
Wow.
to the point where it was looking at being like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $12 a head. Like, yeah, like it used to be really cheap and great to use, and then it went up so high that it was this year it probably would have been as much as our swag budget, if not more.
Holy.
Yeah,
Well, and it's for something that was supposed to be an app for you to basically know what sessions are available, be able to get there on time. It is added so much extra stuff. It's kind of like social media.
yeah, and
Ah.
not useful stuff either. It's just like, and it gets in the way. Yeah, um, yeah. Slack was free, so we cut like 9 grand off our budget.
Nice.
Yeah, which is kind of sad. Um, yeah, so they probably have venture capital and they're probably insuring themselves and hoping to do an IPO and then really screw themselves over. But anyways. Let's go to the last block of things. And now we're going to start talking about artificial intelligence, and we have 3 of them on here. So first one I'm going to do is Robbie Duncan predicting that there would be a certified Agent Force developer certification. Dana co-signed on this one. Both of them are wrong. I'm kind of surprised that there is not a more advanced Agent Force something as a cert.
There will be.
Is there
Although
a,
the
I don't
a s-
I have a hard time with that because I feel like they're trying to use it as a way to really say, hey, you don't need devs more and more.
Agent Force admin.
Yeah, but even an admin isn't going to be that. I don't know. I don't
is
feel it's
there
not going to
a
be that
I mean, it's
specialized.
such a complicated product to use. To be just using it is complicated.
Right, but it's also, I mean, the majority of it is just building on other things that are out there within Salesforce. The only additional piece is your prompt and then declaring agents and being able to write instructions. I don't, which I feel like even the instructions is kind of a prompt. It's just you're just not seeing the prompt piece.
I
Um,
think this happening has two things hitting it. First is that the UI is relatively new and is probably going to massively change relatively soon, so they'd have to re-update the exam a lot. Like a lot of this stuff is really in flight, so it might be really difficult to lock down a version of it. The other problem is that they kind of cut back on the certification team, and the certification exams have been less and less
well, and
active.
even the
So, like,
specialist exam.
I don't know if they have people who could even write one of these exams at the time.
Well,
well, I
and the
think,
specialist exam, they've redone that like at least every quarter.
Yeah.
well, I have the app arc, no, sorry, platform app, which is now what, like, I don't know, they renamed that to something else that doesn't make any sense. But I heard that there's AI questions now on those sort of three intro certs, right? Admin, app
Yeah.
builder, and let's say sales cloud consultant. And that's
There's
like
some AI
already
stuff on there's some AI
how
stuff on PD1. Not much, not much, a little.
Yeesh. What language would a agent agent force developer use?
I
English.
mean, yeah, but would it be going towards, would it be that or would it be more focused on like the bring your own LLM stuff and, then needing to know the languages that use for LLMs? So what,
Right.
Python? Getting into a little bit of Python and I don't see it.
I think eventually there'll probably be more integration with Apex, and trying to not do stuff through the agent, but trying to do stuff through offloading to Apex, making it a giant if-then statement of a front end as opposed to being like agentic, just to make it actually work and not actually
But
tell
Mike,
people that that's how it's going to happen.
but you don't make any money that way. If you have to integrate with outside or third-party LLMs, per Linda's hypothetical, every call out is a chargeable outbound call, and then bringing that data back in is also chargeable. That's where
Yeah,
you make your
chargeable.
money.
Yeah, more to the LLMs, but you get so many API integration calls that it's ridiculous. Um, let's see. Another one that Robbie came up with was more agents. He thought there'd be 25 new first-party agents. And I asked about this, and he thought he came up with maybe six. Um, so Robbie thinks he's wrong on that one.
What does do you know, Mike, what he considers a new, like a first party agent?
So
I
one
don't
from,
know.
I think he was considering the ones from Salesforce that you can basically turn on to begin with.
Okay.
Oh, the pre-builts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't many. Which would be nice
Yeah.
because then you don't have to figure out how Agent Force actually works.
Well, and I think in his discussion, he even said like there seemed to be a lot of topics and actions added, but not agents that were
Yeah.
specific. Like I feel like for the most part, it's the three, that they've given you, like the employee, which is kind of like user, and then you've got the service, and you've got what sales for the most part. I don't, I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't had an opportunity to even touch Agent Force yet.
It's something. It's an experience.
It you could do it at Trailhead, but the shit in Trailhead doesn't work some of the time.
Well, you can get it to work. You just, it just takes,
Not
it's a lotto
no
system. You just keep
no
trying, making more orgs, and eventually,
no, like you can do literally you can do Trailhead modules and you follow all the instructions, all the prompts and
I
the
know. And
output, but
then,
it doesn't give you the right answer all the time. Like not that the LLM does not give you back the correct info some of the time. And yeah, there's not a lot of data in the Trailhead orgs, but still, the fact that it doesn't work occasionally in their very controlled test environments is not a good sign.
No, it's
well,
not.
or you just generate the org and have it missing things that you need to do the badge. Come on.
All right,
Oh,
we
and
are
then
down. Yeah.
then even better is you do a super badge, and then you haven't touched that org for the 45 days, and it starts sending you the daily email. And it keeps sending you the daily email because it's not able to delete because there's a managed package installed. I've been getting, for one of the super badges, I've been getting an email every day now for 4 months saying it's going to expire on this date, and it keeps advancing the date. I
Oh,
finally logged in the
funny.
other day and I said, all right, let's see if I can uninstall the managed packages and see if that makes a difference. Not easy to do, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I'm
That's
going to change, I'm going to
what's the
totally,
managed package, Linda? Because there's some people who want to keep their orgs and don't want them disappearing after
so it's
45 or
not,
9.
it's not a managed package from them. If you don't want it to disappear, log in. Just log in
I
every
know,
30
I know,
days.
I
But
know.
like, so for the super badge, there was actually like a package that was installed in the org, and then there's the data cloud installed piece, which you can't uninstall. So I don't know if that org's ever going to go away. I'm really tempted to change the email address so it's not mine, but I need an email address where the person will actually, yeah, click the link. So I might use my community group email since those are going away just so that I stop getting those messages.
All right, we're down to our last prediction. This one was mine as well. Mine was that we would see a widespread news story about accidental data leakage due to Agent Force. And sadly enough, this kind of actually did come true. There was a vulnerability called Forced Leak found by the people at Noma Labs who were able to leak out data through prompt injections.
No, that does not
Yeah,
sound good.
no, that does not sound good at all. Let's see. According to this, they disclosed this vulnerability in July, on July 28th. Salesforce acknowledged it. 3 days later, they fixed it with the trusted URL enforcement for Agentforce and Einstein AI release thingamajiggy. Yeah, security act, whatever they call those things. So yeah, enforce trusted URLs and agents thing in September. So yeah, so that's what that's all of August, right?
So are we still calling it the trust layer? Like, do we still trust it?
Well, OpenAI didn't know about your data, but everyone else on the internet did. So all of August and a little so maybe like 5 weeks, and then public disclosure was September 25th. So that is a public disclosure a couple of months later, which is that's pretty responsible reporting. That's a good amount of time for something so complicated. Um, so I'm not saying anything bad about that. I don't think it was as widespread known about as I was thinking it would be. Like I was thinking like major news story, like evening news story type major or CNN news story, but
Like
good enough.
CrowdStrike news story level.
Yeah. But I still think that should count as
Of- yeah,
there
it
was a
counts.
vulnerability. Yeah.
Was there, you
Uh,
said there was a news article about it, right?
yeah, there was some
That
news articles. It
counts.
wasn't huge because I think it was still in the more theoretical phase that But you never know with these things, like how many actually like you wouldn't know very easily how how big of a leak it was. This is one of the limitations that LLMs have, where they don't separate out command and data, or commands and prompt inputs. Like they can't, so like they don't know like these are like the things we can and can't do exactly, and and Salesforce tries to deal with some of that, and they try to build in some prompt injection stuff, but it's
So
a
I saw an article, this is related. I'm going to circle back around to that example and ask you a question about it. Actually,
Mhm.
all three of you. So I don't know if this was AI slop, but I saw a video article that there were these AI vending machines, and it was in some company's
New York
headquarters.
Times, Entropic.
Yeah,
It was a proof
I
of
think
concept,
so.
and they
And
proved
I
that,
was
yeah, people will attack stuff.
so they were able to convince it to give all the employees free stuff for like a whole day.
Yeah.
So it
They kept hacking it until there was nothing left for it. So, like, it was such a money losing proposition that they just had to say fuck it and be done with it.
I don't even know what would even be the point of an AI vending machine. Like
Too much money.
it has products in it. You select the product. What's the AI part? Why do we need an AI part in
the
So you can just
the,
walk up to it and talk to it.
the
That's
You
just
comment
simple
don't.
standard speech recognition, though. That's not like you
was
don't need a whole LLM.
no, the comment thread was hilarious.
But
It was
Oh, I'm
it could,
sure.
so you walk up to it and it's going to predict what you want and just give it to you. Come on. It's going to be a mind reading machine because that's what we think AI really is that it
It's
can read
just
our
predictive
minds.
analysis, though. So, what if, like, we're not eating pizza on Friday like we normally do? Who knows then?
It's another forecast model that just needs more water.
you just need to retrain it over and over and over again. All right, so that was real. That was an AI slop
No, that was
that I
real.
had seen. Okay.
That was real. And like it wasn't in production. It was kind of like an experiment they were doing, which credit for them to actually experiment with stuff, but yeah, it shows problems, right?
Well, and this was a couple of years ago, so early AI, maybe just 2 years ago. But wasn't there also an airline who quoted the wrong information to
That was
someone
part
on
of
their website over
yes, that was
chat?
part of a chatbot where
Yeah,
it offered like a refund or a discount or something when
yeah,
it wasn't
something like
supposed
that.
to.
And then the court
Yeah,
upheld the fact that they had to give it. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
I'm
Uh,
still waiting though for someone to do that AI vending machine with a 3D printer that prints edibles. Because then I can walk up to anyone and I can instantly get Cheez-Its, even if it doesn't
correct.
sell Cheez-Its.
Oh, you might have a really interesting business plan, Linda.
I
Cut
think you
that
are
out, Mike,
referring.
so no one
I
steals it.
I think Linda's referring to a different type of edible than I was thinking of that
Yeah,
would
but
result in
yo,
getting
yeah,
Cheez-Its.
yeah.
I was not referring to the CBD edibles because I don't do those. Just Cheez-Its,
No, but you
man.
CBD.
get
That's
Cheez-Its from the people who do those and say, hey, give me some Cheez-Its, because of course they're gonna have Cheez-Its.
Oh, stoners always have cheese. It's yeah, like just holler at someone who partakes and they'll have snacks.
no, but I'm not that, and I'm a geocacher, and we always have to have a box of Cheez-Its in the car.
I haven't checked out any of the THC edible shops, but I haven't gone in one, but I'd be so disappointed if they don't have the best snack selection of any convenience store in the world.
Oh,
They have to
I
have
don't
the
know. Do
best.
they?
Most
I don't know.
dispensaries don't. It's literally just like the gummies or the chocolates or whatever.
This is a big
Which is
Because
thing.
why the Girl Scouts do so well outside the fronts of them.
Yes.
good for
Yes.
them. That's a marketing opportunity.
It is.
I'm opening snack good convenience store outside every CBD shop in town. There,
Oh my
that's how I'm
God.
going
Could
to make
you
my
imagine
millions.
having a pastry shop like right next door to a CBD dispensary?
I think dispensaries should just start like wafting the smell of like chocolate chip cookies in while people purchase. Yeah.
Hey, it works for Disney.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. How did we do on our 29? So we got 48% or 14 were absolutely correct. Uh, 10% or three of them were partially correct. 37.9 or 11 of them were wrong. And 1 or 3.25% or half percent were unsure. So I'd say we were a little more right than wrong this year, which is better than we were last year.
Yeah. What was the previous year's percentages?
I think it was let's see, I don't have them saved. I don't have last year's saved in Salesforce. But I think they were well, actually, you know what? Maybe I do. Let me see. Let me see. Did I put last year's in here? Let's see. I'm gonna hit save
We need a year
and
over year trend chart, Mike.
we do. Okay, so last year I do have last year. Last year was 46% wrong, 43% wrong last year. So last year was 43% wrong, and this year is 37.9. So yeah, we did improve this year. Yay.
Very nice.
Good for us. Um, anyone have any quick, because we're running short on time, anyone have some quick previews of what you think is going to happen next year?
Mark Benioff will have 5 foot mouse statements.
Just fine.
Playing it conservative.
I think if the Democrats win the midterms, that he is going to very quickly but softly abandon Trump in some way or do some sort of public revocation of one of his policies.
Lynda?
I the only thing I ever predict is Trailhead, and I feel like they have to. But that's what I do most of, besides work, you know. Um, I kind of feel like the project line is gone. Like that one's gone. That's been so blurred. Um, I feel like they're abandoning the event community badges. Like the quest thing is going away, like really
Mm.
soon. I haven't seen very many new quests lately. I haven't.
Salesforce doesn't want people who care about Trailhead at the events. They want the people who buy the stuff and
I
approve the
know.
budgets. And those people don't care about Trailhead because they're not that platform. They don't care.
Yeah. And as for number of badges, I think we're going to see even more get retired. And I don't think we'll have as many new ones. I really don't.
My
Yep.
prediction is they will finally, for once and all, deprecate end of life Salesforce for Outlook, the installed version. It will actually go end of life in 2026, once and for all. I know that's what the release notes say, but we've seen it pushed off for like 7 years now. So, but this is the year. 2026 is the year.
Over under on them renaming the company Agent Force.
I don't think so.
Near certainty.
Well,
You think?
we'll find out 1 year from now, Chris. Let's find out who's right. I don't think they'll
Yeah.
rename it.
I think
That's
they're
such a
going to I think they're going to call the company Agent Force, but not actually do the formal renaming of it. So it's just like a soft front end appearance, which is kind of what they're doing now. So I think you're kind of halfway there, Chris. I don't think they're going to change the actual like SEC name
It
anytime
wouldn't,
soon, but they're just going to pretend that the company's Agent Force.
Hmm,
for sure.
that could
We'll
that
see.
could be, but you spend 25 years building up a brand and then just on a whim you're going to just switch it all out. Like, did you not see how well that didn't go for Twitter? Like,
You think anyone learns lessons of the past?
throw away a 25-year brand that you like. It's dumb. It's dumb. I just don't. I think you're probably more right, Mike. Well, they'll like
No,
sort of
you know what they're going to
hybridize.
do?
They'll
Nope,
pretend their name is Agent
I got it.
Force.
I got it. The name is going to be Agent Force Salesforce.
Ah,
Agent Force Sales, Agent Force Service, Agent Force Salesforce. There we go. All right. Well, then I want to thank all of my guests, Lynda, Chris, and Randy, for coming to do this. I think we should do it again next year. So, if you want to get in on the fun, in Ohana Slack, underneath this video is the 2026 predictions threads. So please start posting your stuff, and we will see if you're right. And until then, we'll see you next year. Bye.